Have you heard of the Amazon jungle? But do you know its 10 most terrifying creatures? The #1 spot instantly killed 15,000 people. A terrifying creature that can electrocute an 800-pound buffalo. Can you even imagine? From tiny hidden creatures that can poison you to death, to giant beasts that will deliberately tear you to pieces. If I gave you $1 million, do you think you could survive in the Amazon? This is Earth's top, and today we're going to dive into this dark and mysterious forest to find its 10 most terrifying animals. Please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Let's get right into it. Number 10. The piranha. They are one of the world's most aggressive and ferocious freshwater fish. I'm sure you've seen them in the movies, a school of hungry piranhas. They are unbelievably brutal. Their ghostly speed gives prey no time to escape. By now we're all pretty familiar with the piranha. To this day, the number of deaths from piranhas is in the thousands, and that's just in the 20th century. Over 300 people have died from piranha bites. They possess incredibly sharp teeth, shaped like inverted triangles. When those powerful teeth clamp down, it's actually like a meat grinder. Even a steel plate can be scarred by their bite marks. Piranhas are extremely sensitive to the scent of blood. Just one drop of blood in the water, and they will immediately swarm towards the source. It's no exaggeration to say, even a massive elephant would have a hard time escaping them. It would be completely devoured in under 30 seconds, leaving nothing but clean white bone. If a species as vicious as the piranha actually made its way to Japan, would it get contaminated by the nuclear wastewater and evolve into the giant piranhas from horror movies? When you really think about it, that's terrifying. Let us know what you think in the comments. So do those giant piranhas from the movies really exist? Number 9 is the sloth, basically the dictionary definition of lazy. You know Flash from the movie Zootopia. In the film, the fox, Nick Wilde, absolutely insists on telling Flash a joke, a scene that's now a classic. It's an unforgettable scene. The Amazon rainforest is a place where only the strong survive. You've got animals that are fast, incredibly powerful, and others that are packed with venom. But the sloth is lazy to its core. What special ability could it have that lets it live in such a ridiculously dangerous place? You have to admit it's basically a miracle. A sloth's approach to survival is, well, it's different. For starters, they spend their entire lives up in the trees. Their huge and sharp claws aren't just for holding on to branches. They're also its main weapon for self-defense. Those claws allow the sloth to move around the canopy, like it's strolling through its own backyard. So, it doesn't have to worry about any predators on the ground. The sloth's entire survival plan relies on some incredibly clever camouflage. Their bodies are covered in a thick, shaggy coat. This helps them blend seamlessly into the jungle environment. Plus, the sloth's fur is often damp and wet. Because of this, a sloth's back is usually covered in green algae and moss. This basically turns them into a living, breathing plant, which helps confuse any predators. Number 8. The Amazon catfish, one of the largest freshwater fish species. And it has a massive body. A full-grown adult can be up to 3 meters long. That's a body length that can rival the length of a compact car. And it can weigh over 300 kilograms. With its massive size, it has become a top predator in its ecosystem. How ferocious is the Amazon catfish? It's the undisputed king of freshwater fish. Now, it can't quite compare with the ocean's greatest predators, like sharks and killer whales, of course. But in freshwater environments, it has absolutely no rival. It doesn't matter what kind of freshwater fish it is. If it enters an Amazon catfish's territory, it's probably going to become a meal. This powerful predator shows exactly what it means to be at the top of the freshwater food chain. Its ferocity is just on another level. If you try to catch one of these, its incredible strength could easily pull you right in. It can even drag a person straight off a boat. Every single year in the Amazon region, there are tons of reports of giant river monsters attacking people. And the Amazon catfish is often the culprit, with some incidents involving bitten-off fingers. 20 feet long. Ever seen an animal that wears its own body armor? Well, get ready. Here are the 10 most terrifying animals of the Amazon. Number 7. The Arapaima. It holds the Guinness World Record for the largest freshwater fish because it has bony teeth growing from its tongue. This type of fish is known as a bony tongue. The Arapaima is absolutely massive. It can grow to be over 10 feet long. Standing on its tail, it would be as tall as a one-story building. It's truly the heavyweight champion of freshwater fish. They can weigh up to 770 pounds. Usually, it takes 2 to 4 grown adults to even lift a single full-grown. And get this, someone supposedly once caught one that was 20 feet long. Now, even with their size advantage, they tend to move pretty slowly. They almost look like a wise old man swimming by. But you should never underestimate the Arapaima. It possesses a shocking amount of brute force. They use one powerful whip of their tail to completely demolish their prey. Even a normal full-grown man wouldn't survive a direct hit from its tail, and their bite force can reach 4,200 pounds. That's about 4 times the power of a lion. This beast doesn't just have incredible killing power. It also has scales as hard as gemstones. It literally lives alongside piranhas, so you can imagine how tough this animal's hide has to be. It's like a walking fortress. That's why it dominates its territory in the water. No one dares to mess with it. Number 6. The giant freshwater stingray. These enormous freshwater rays can be found throughout the Amazon River system, living in many of its freshwater streams. A mature giant freshwater stingray can reach an incredible 3 meters in length and might even grow larger than that. It's almost impossible to imagine that a creature this massive exists in fresh water. Every year they are responsible for more injuries to people than any other species in the entire Amazon. In Colombia, more than 2,000 people are injured annually. This is because the creature's stinger is packed with a potent venom. And it's worth mentioning, attacks from these stingrays are not that uncommon. The venomous barb is extremely toxic. A minor sting will cause excruciating pain. A major one can lead to paralysis or even death. Nowadays, the giant freshwater stingray is very rare. This makes an accidental encounter resulting in injury or even death far less likely. However, stories of the stingray's deadly attacks are still passed down through local folklore, leaving a powerful impression. These legends cause some people to give the stingrays a very wide berth. But then you have the thrill seekers, who are even more eager to try and catch one. This has caused the stingray population to shrink further. Number 5. The giant otter. Of the 13 species of otter in the world, this is the largest of them all. They can grow up to 2 meters long and weigh around 20 kilograms. You know how they talk about the honey badger on land? Well, in the water you have the giant otter. These animals have powerful bodies and a brutally ferocious personality. They're one of the Amazon's top apex predators, as carnivores giant otters are, both incredibly smart and fierce. They are armed with razor-sharp teeth and can easily crush the skull of their prey. A single full-grown giant otter needs to eat about 4 kilograms of food every day, and one of their absolute favorite meals is none other than the notorious piranha. With their incredibly strong claws, a giant otter is able to rip a piranha's body apart with one strike. This makes them one of the Amazon rainforest's most feared and dominant predators. But the most terrifying part is, giant otters use group hunting tactics. They rarely hunt alone, making them tyrants of the river. That's why they are known as the wolves of the river. About the only creature that can pose a real threat to a giant otter is the caiman. However, the giant otter's body is incredibly agile, which gives the caiman a very hard time. But it's usually the caiman's young offspring that gets snatched and eaten by these giant otters. They have truly earned the title of caiman killer. Number 4. The black caiman. This is one of the largest reptiles on the planet and the most ferocious of the entire crocodilian family. It's a being of immense raw power. They can grow to a length of 5 meters and weigh as much as 500 kilograms. Their entire body is a dark brown or black and is covered in thick, hardened scales. This natural armor is practically impenetrable. Its massive jaws are arguably the most lethal weapon in its arsenal, especially when it's a black caiman. Its bite force can easily exceed 1 ton of pressure. Their enormous gaping jaws model. Its massive jaws are lined with long, razor-sharp teeth. It's basically a living, breathing meat grinder. And when you're facing a bite force that powerful, even something like industrial-strength glass would be shattered into 1,000,000 pieces once a black caiman grabs hold of its prey. Those deadly teeth sink in deep, plunging right into the victim's body. It pins them down with a death grip, making that poor animal regret it was ever born. And its eating habits are just plain brutal. Smaller animals get swallowed down in a single gulp. But if the meal is a little on the bigger side, one bite just leads to another. And if that doesn't work, they bust out their signature move, the death roll. This rips chunks of flesh off to eat. Here in the Amazon basin, a full-grown black caiman has no natural enemies. If you're not paying attention, even people can get caught in one of their attacks. The terrifying beast that can kill a 900-pound water buffalo instantly is up next. So let's continue. We're counting down the 10 most terrifying animals in the Amazon. Number 3. The electric eel. This thing is known as the high-voltage wire of the water. It's one of the most feared freshwater animals on Earth. The electric eel is a fish that makes people's blood run cold. It's called the Thunder King of nature for its long, thick body, and it can grow over 9 feet long. Its body almost looks like raw metal. It's smooth and completely scaleless. Its back is usually a deep, dark black, while its belly is a kind of orange-yellow. The electric eels in the Amazon can generate a shock of up to 800 volts. That's about the same as a powerful lightning strike. That kind of power is enough to kill a full-grown bull. Even a thick-skinned crocodile can't handle that kind of massive current. It's a fatal mistake. According to biologists who've studied them, a person can only handle about 36 volts of electricity, but just one jolt from an electric eel that can easily shock 13 adults. Now you're probably asking, with that much voltage, why doesn't it electrocute itself? Well, under normal circumstances, an electric eel won't get shocked, but in some very specific situations, an eel can actually be killed by its own electricity. For example, if they're exposed to the air. That's because in the open air, the flow of the current is restricted. The resistance gets too high. And in that kind of situation, the eel might get hurt because the current can't escape. It can get injured and even die. Number 2, the bull shark. This is one of the most aggressive animals in fresh water, and even though the statistics show it's less notorious than the great white, for a lot of people, the bull shark is far more terrifying. According to the records, at least 100 people have suffered its attacks, and these attacks have happened in all different kinds of places. Some took place on coastal beaches, while others happened in rivers far inland. This actually led to a big misunderstanding, because before all this, the local people were all convinced there were absolutely no sharks in the rivers. Bull sharks can grow up to 4 meters long and can weigh up to 700 kilograms, as far as we know. It's one of the largest sharks found in estuaries and rivers. Their bodies are enormous, and they're incredibly fierce predators. A bull shark's teeth are razor sharp and can easily crush the bones and muscle of its prey. Their bite force can be over 1,000 kilograms. A turtle in its jaws is basically like tofu. With that kind of bite force, it's more than enough to rip open the skin and bones of large marine mammals. Number 1. The poison dart frog. It's one of the most lethal animals on the entire planet. Its poison is so potent, it is absolutely terrifying. These small, delicate-looking frogs are usually just an inch or so long, so tiny one could easily sit on a quarter, but their small bodies hold an incredible amount of poison. They have these vibrant, beautiful colors, but the golden poison frog is the deadliest of them all. It's said they can kill dozens of people in just 3 minutes. Just a single golden poison frog has enough toxin to kill 20 people, and 1 gram of purified toxin could kill 15,000 people. Scientists have discovered over 170 types of poison frogs. 55 of those species are highly toxic. The frog's poison is a type of alkaloid toxin that attacks the normal function of another animal's nervous system. This ultimately causes the heart to stop beating, resulting in a quick death. However, the frog's potent venom only works if it enters your bloodstream. But some years ago, there was a story of a South American scientist studying these poison frogs. He accidentally got a small cut on his finger. Then by pure chance, the frog's toxin got inside his body through the wound. He was dead within a matter of hours.